The Insta360 X3 is the most fun camera I own, as you could see by just how many videos I've made about it on this channel. However, tragically, I chipped one of the lenses recently. I'll talk about how it happened, what I'm going to do to prevent this from happening again, but more importantly, I wanted to bring you with me on the process of getting this repaired, from submitting the claim, to mailing it in, to getting it back, to how much it cost. All this and more, let's get into it. So, this lens chip actually happened last month, and to be honest, I'm not 100% sure how. I took it with us to Florida, used it on the beach one day. I never hit it on anything that I know of, and all of a sudden the next day I take it off of the protective sleeve, and there it is, this deep chip in one of the lenses. My heart sank. One of the biggest critiques from X3 users is that X360 doesn't offer lenses that can be replaced by the users. My guess is because Insta360 advertises their cameras as water resistant, and there's no real way that they can support that claim if people are replacing parts themselves, which I get it, but it is very frustrating. I wish they could just make a disclaimer saying that if you swap out the new lens yourself, it voids the water resistance warranty. But here we are, so I have no choice but to send it in for repairs. Let's see what that process looks like. So once you get to the Insta360 website, it's pretty straightforward. You're going to go ahead and log into your account if you already have one. Scroll down to the bottom of the home screen. Down there, you're going to see repairs under the support, and you request a repair. You submit the repair request, and then it's all about filling in the info. You provide the serial number for the device, make sure that's correct, submit, and then I went to lens issue, lens damage, and I typed in lens on front of camera, same side as touchscreen, so they knew, has a significant chip in it. The damage is quite visible in videos when using the camera. So filled that in, filled out my own personal address, and then it tells me where I'm going to be shipping the repaired items to. And of course, agree to the terms, hit submit. And there you have it. Your repair application has been submitted successfully. Now, once I submitted my request for repairs to the Insta360 website, the next thing to do was to actually mail it in. Now, because I live in the US, it had me send it to their customer service center in Irvine, California. The address listed was 2323 Main Street, Unit 16, and here's a Google Street View of where that is. Now, I paid for 2-day shipping through USPS with an added $500 worth of insurance to make sure that it made it okay, which cost me about $22 in shipping. Small price to pay, in my opinion, in case something happened to it. So, 2 days later, it finally arrived to its destination in California, right before the weekend, so I kind of figured it would be a few days before I saw anything done about the X3, but I was actually pleasantly surprised. Now, the big question everybody wants to know, how much did it cost for the repairs? And while I'm explaining that, please do me a favor and hit the like button, and please consider subscribing to the channel while you're at it. It really helps the channel out and encourages me to make many, many more videos like that. Anyway, enough of the admin stuff. Like I said, how much were the repairs? So, with it being a lens scratch that I knew would need replaced, I figured the repairs to be between $75 and $100 based on what some other people saying online and what theirs costs, and I wasn't that far off. For what Insta360 calls a front 360 lens mod severely scratched, they charged me $116.99 for the replacement, plus another $13 for the shipping to get it back to me, for a grand total of $129.99 before they gave me what they called a courtesy discount, which brought the price down to $117. Basically, they gave me free shipping, which was nice. Now, bear in mind while watching this that I bought this camera from Best Buy, and I didn't purchase any coverage or insurance for it from either Insta360 or Best Buy, so I knew it was going to hurt sending it in for repairs. So I wasn't really too surprised when I think about how much I use and love this camera. $117 isn't all that bad, so take that for what it's worth. So the big question is, altogether, how long did the repairs take, and how long was the process compared to what Insta360 actually advertises for turnaround on those repairs? I mailed off my X3 on May 14th at 11:36 a.m., and as I said, I paid for 2 days shipping, meaning they received my camera on May 16th, around 7 p.m. according to the tracking on their website. That same night, they actually marked it as received and awaiting inspection. I was surprised they actually got to it the same day that they received it, especially it being later in the day. I woke up the next morning, Friday, May 17th, to the inspection being finished and was waiting on an actual quote on the repairs. This didn't happen for a couple days, finally being posted on May 19th around 9 p.m. It was about a day later that I noticed it was waiting for me, and I paid it as soon as I saw it on May 20th. So we are now just under a week from the time I sent the X3 in the mail, and now it is inspected and paid for. All that's left is for them to complete the repairs and ship it back. And let's be honest, a simple lens replacement shouldn't take a technician too long. I have no experience, and I bet I could fumble through it in about an hour. So repairs are processed around 1:30 p.m. on May 21st, exactly 1 week from the date it left my hands. Now we wait for what I'm hoping is the same 2-day shipping as I used, and sure enough, at 1:23 in the afternoon on May 23rd, my X3 is at my door waiting for me. Or so I thought, because upon opening the package, I come to realize that they did not actually fix the chipped lens, but in fact just replaced the entire unit. So here I stare at a brand new X3, void of any of the scuffs and blemishes from my oily fingers or bumps into other things in my camera bag. I'm sure my old X3 was repaired and thrown in a pile of refurbished units to be sold at a discount to someone else soon. But all in all, it took 9 days from the time the Insta360 X3 left my hands at the post office to the time it was on my doorstep ready to record again. So now everyone wants to know how well a company's customer service handles repairs, and to that I have little to say, which actually says quite a bit. I never actually spoke to a person by phone or text. I submitted the request myself, following their instructions page. I watched for it on their app and my email to see when they needed me to pay before they would do the repair, or replacement in my case. And I waited for the package to arrive. They know what to do and when to do it. So in my opinion, their repair service really operates well and without much prompting. I've had runarounds with companies before, so it's nice to see one that does what they need to do without being harassed to get moving or stay on the timeline. So now that I have my baby back to me and its lenses are carefully replaced and in great condition again, what exactly am I going to do to prevent this kind of thing from happening again? As I mentioned before, this accident happened because I just threw the X3 in my backpack and didn't realize that my 3-meter selfie stick was pointed right under that pocket, so the lens hit the threading and cracked the lens. Now, I had been using this thin, flimsy, soft cover to protect my X3, but it isn't going to do anything against an impact with something hard or sharp. So I wound up getting one of these hard case protectors that actually goes over the lens, and now I'm very confident that nothing is going to scratch my lens during normal, everyday transport. So I don't see something like this happening again. I'll leave a link below in the video description if you wanted to pick up the lens guard like this one that I bought. It is an affiliate link, so it does give me a little bit back for sending you to Amazon. I really appreciate it, and while you're here, go ahead and click these videos over here. This one over here is my in-depth review of the Insta360 X3, and this one here is when I used the Insta360 as dash cam, which is a surprisingly popular choice based on the comments. With that being said, thank you so much for watching. I love you guys. Bye.